Step one for me, when I came into recovery, was quite confusing in the sense of like the words I wasn't used to. I wasn't used to this powerlessness or this unmanageability over my life or powerless, unmanageability I could get with, but I didn't know to the extent it was, the unmanageability. I could see that my life was unmanageable, yeah, but I didn't recognize that my thoughts were unmanageable. I didn't recognize I inside was unmanageable, you know? It was like when I'd have a drink near the end and a drug, it'd be like I'd drink fast down the hatch, down the hatch. People would say to me, "You're drunk." And I stopped feeling it. And that was near the end for me. That despair of trying to get back to anything other than what I was feeling inside. And now this wasn't working for me. You know, I could see in in while I was drinking, even my like inner all my inner world, my thoughts, my feelings. It'd be like you know, one part of the night it'd be happy as go lucky, and then 10 minutes later I'm crying on the fucking dance floor. My emotions was up and down and they were too big, and I went right into them. And it was just like I couldn't say to you who was going, coming out with you. I couldn't say who I was going to be by the end of the evening or halfway through it. I would have changed. So seeing the unmanageability within myself, right, um, was when I started to work the step one. I started to kind of like even going down the street, I would say to myself, right, stop thinking about something. And I'd watch my inner world. And 5 minutes later, I'm thinking of it again. And I just say, stop thinking about it. And I could see that this role of quick thinking, my mind was like wobble, fast, 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 fast. That I couldn't control my thoughts, and that took practice to regain my sovereignty over myself, you know, over my emotions, over my mental capability. But look, it's a short. That's some part of my step one. You want to know more? I got a full